The end of days, a final climactic battle, a conflict beyond human history where the forces of good and evil will clash in the ultimate confrontation, the Battle of Armageddon. What does the Bible truly say about this prophetic war? Is it a physical battle, a spiritual war, or something beyond human comprehension? Join us as we uncover the mysteries of Armageddon, diving deep into the scriptures to understand this momentous event prophesied in the book of Revelation. The term Armageddon appears only once in the Bible, in Revelation 16:16, and they gathered them together to the place called in Hebrew Armageddon. This prophecy is set within the broader vision given to the Apostle John. In the final days, the kings of the earth, deceived by demonic spirits, will be drawn into battle against God Almighty. The location, Armageddon, is a historical battleground in ancient Israel, a site where many decisive conflicts were fought throughout biblical history. But is this battle merely a war between nations, or is it something more? The Bible speaks of a period of unparalleled suffering, the Great Tribulation. Jesus warned of this time in Matthew 24:21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. During this period, the Antichrist, a powerful world ruler, will rise to deceive the nations. 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 describes him. Let no one deceive you in any way, for that day will not come unless the rebellion comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship. This leader will establish a global system, demanding worship and loyalty. He will deceive many, performing signs and wonders. The false prophet will assist him, compelling people to take the mark of the beast, as seen in Revelation 13:16-17. During this time, the nations will prepare for war, rallying under the influence of demonic deception, unknowingly setting the stage for their ultimate downfall. The armies of the world, influenced by Satan, will gather at Megiddo, preparing to war against Christ himself. Revelation 16:13-14 tells us, And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty. This battle is unlike any in history. It is not merely a war between earthly rulers. It is a war against God. The nations of the world will be deceived into thinking they can defeat Christ. Their military power, advanced technology, and alliances will be useless against the omnipotent King of Kings. Then, at the appointed time, heaven will open. Revelation 19:11-16 paints a breathtaking picture. And I saw heaven opened, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Christ the warrior king returns, not as the suffering lamb, but as the Lion of Judah. He does not come alone. The armies of heaven follow him, clothed in fine linen, ready to execute divine judgment. The war does not last long. With the sword of his mouth, Christ speaks, and the armies of the Antichrist are struck down. Revelation 19:19-21 states, And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. The Antichrist and his false prophet are immediately defeated and cast into the lake of fire. The rebellious armies are slain, and their bodies become a feast for the birds of the air. Satan himself is bound in chains and cast into the abyss for 1,000 years, ending his reign of terror. With the forces of darkness vanquished, Christ establishes his millennial kingdom, 1,000 years of peace, justice, and righteousness. The nations are restored and the earth is renewed. Yet the final chapter of history is not yet complete. After 1,000 years, Satan is loosed for a short time, deceiving the nations once more. But fire comes from heaven and devours them, and Satan is cast into the lake of fire forever. Then comes the final judgment, the great white throne judgment, where all who rejected Christ will stand before God. Those whose names are not found in the book of life will face eternal separation from God. The Battle of Armageddon is not just a war, it is the ultimate triumph of Christ. It is the moment when evil is eradicated, justice prevails, and God's kingdom is established forever. For believers, this battle is not a cause for fear, but for hope. It is the fulfillment of God's promise that righteousness will reign and Christ will be victorious. Revelation 21:4 gives us this glorious assurance, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." So as we await his coming, let us stand firm in faith, watching and praying, for the King of Kings will return. The signs of the end are unfolding before our eyes: wars, rumors of wars, deception, persecution, and the increase of wickedness. But to those who endure, to those who remain faithful, there is an eternal promise of victory and glory. Let the words of Christ in Matthew 24:44 echo in our hearts. "Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh." This is the story of Armageddon, the final battle, the great reckoning between good and evil, where the King of Kings triumphs over darkness, and his reign of righteousness will never end. Be ready, for he is coming soon. The heavens will split open, and the earth will shake. The sound of the last trumpet will echo across the lands, and every eye shall see the coming of the Lord in his glory. The nations will tremble, the wicked will mourn, and the faithful will rejoice. His justice will be swift, his reign will be eternal, and his victory will be absolute. The King is coming, and none can stand against him. The final battle will mark the beginning of an everlasting kingdom where peace, love, and righteousness shall prevail forever. This is not just a battle, it is the dawn of eternity, the final chapter of human history, and the glorious revelation of God's eternal plan. Watch, prepare, and stand firm in the faith, for the day of the Lord is near. As the world spirals into darkness, the hope of Christ shines ever brighter. Let those who have ears to hear, listen. The King is coming, and his reward is with him. The war will end, but his kingdom shall never pass away. Every prophecy will be fulfilled, and all creation will bow before the Lord of Lords. The time of waiting is nearly over. The signs are before us. Let us be vigilant, let us be faithful, for the trumpet will soon sound, and the King of Kings will take his rightful place upon the throne of eternity. The time is near. The heavens await their King. The nations tremble. The saints prepare. He is coming soon.